Welcome back to Building Character, where we figure out how to play as your favorite fictional characters in Dungeons & Dragons. Join the Patreon for this character sheet and a whole bunch more, and like and subscribe for better parts next time you play. Maybe. Today we're building Nebula, everyone's second favorite daughter of Thanos, the Pepsi to Gamora's Coke, and a girl who is so sad she's literally blue. Thankfully, it seems like she's turning her life around and moving past her paternal issues. Maybe she'll start a YouTube channel building your favorite fictional characters in Dungeons & Dragons. Let's start off with our goals for this build. First, we need some enhancements. Elective surgery isn't for everyone, but sometimes it's not all that elective. Next, we need to be the deadliest woman in the galaxy's sister, still pretty deadly. Finally, we'll fix ourselves up. Healing from trauma always starts with yourself, and it helps if your bones can snap back into place. For stats, we'll be using the standard point buy from the player's handbook. Roll for stats if you want, just keep your multi-classing minimums in mind. Strength, dexterity, and intelligence, all up at 14. You've been loaded up with the best bio augments in the galaxy, and also understand how to repair them. Constitution at 12, living through all that augmentation requires some toughness. Wisdom is a bit low. You're good at seeing things, but not great at controlling your anger. And we'll dump charisma. You tend to push people away whenever they get too close. Relatable, you turds. Nebula was a Kree, but she's more machine than woman now. So we'll go Warforged, giving you +2 to your Constitution and +1 strength. That +1 can go anywhere. I just want to be able to integrate with the heaviest armor possible without penalty from integrated protection. That adds 1 to the AC of whatever armor you've fused with and prevents it from being taken off without your permission. Honestly, even then it's going to be hard to get metal out of you, unless there was some dude who could control metal, but that seems outlandish even for Marvel. Your constructed resilience gives you a virus filter, letting you resist poison damage. You've got advantage on saves against being poisoned. You don't need to drink or eat, so give Tony the extra rations. He's looking a bit thin lately. You don't even need to sleep. Instead, you can take a sentry's rest to get the benefits of a long rest by standing still for 4 hours. You also get an extra skill of your choice. We're building your own background anyway, so how about Arcana, Stealth, and Perception, since I want those skills and your starting class can't give them to you. That starting class is Fighter. It's a little basic, but if you're really good at fighting, it's pretty good. You get 2 skills from the Fighter list, like Athletics and Acrobatics, and a fighting style like Unarmed Fighting to deal 1d6 bludgeoning damage with your unarmed attacks, 1d8 if you got 2 free hands, and 1d4 to a creature you have grappled once per turn. You could take pretty much any fighting style for Nebula, but unarmed fighting is really bad without this fighting style, and girl can punch. If you want to do a Nebula differently at home that focuses on one type of fighting style, go ahead and do that. You also get Second Wind, letting you recover 1d10 plus your fighter level and HP once per short rest. Whether or not it's your bones snapping into place is up to you and your DM. Second level fighters get an action surge, letting you make 2 actions in 1 turn once per short rest. Right now, I'm gonna say that's 2 punches, or maybe a punch and a stab. You've got the stats to use just about any weapon effectively. Third level fighters can choose a martial archetype, and if you're looking for a bunch of different weapon proficiencies, champions get an extra fighting style later, but right now, they get improved critical, letting you critically hit on a 19 or a 20 with your weapon attacks. You don't have any spell attacks, but maybe we will eventually. Wait, that wouldn't be good with this, but it will be good for every type of weapon. 4th level fighters get an ability score improvement. We need a lot of them to be the best at everything, so let's start at dexterity for ranged and finesse attacks. Most of the stuff you use isn't too heavy, though your sticks are probably quarterstaffs. Hey, it's hard to be good at everything. 5th level fighters get an extra attack, letting you make 2 attacks instead of 1 with your action, or up to 4 with an action surge, not with a gun or crossbow, since those have the loading property, but the punches will work, and we'll get something for those later. 6th level fighters get another ability score improvement. Bump your strength modifier up now for better melee weapon attacks, and something more next level. That's because 7th level champions are remarkable athletes, letting you add your strength modifier to the distance of your running long jumps. Anti-gravity is a given in space adventures. That's a better hop. You can also add half your proficiency bonus to any strength, dexterity, or constitution check you're not proficient with, which does include initiative rolls. You're pretty itchy for fights. Makes sense that you get the jump on people. 8th level fighters get another ability score improvement, so now I think we're going to invest in intelligence. But why? You can't use that for weapons. Or can you? If you jump over to Artificer, you can grab cantrips, which are sort of like weapons, but also not really. Shocking Grasp is a melee spell attack that deals 2d8 lightning damage at this point and prevents the target from taking reactions, which will make it easier to run away. Mending lets you fix a crack in something or put 2 pieces of something back together, helping you put your arm back on after you cut it off to escape. That is so metal. That's literally metal. But you can't do that and use a cantrip to heal as a Warforged, because that would be busted. You can heal yourself with Spell Cure Wounds though. That heals 1d8 plus your intelligence modifier. You could also heal someone else you touch, but you're not great at finding people. You want to keep a alive. If you want to just cowabunga out of a spaceship without dying, Featherfall prevents up to 5 falling creatures from taking falling damage. Again, you could share, or you could just use it on yourself as a lone wolf. A blue lone metal wolf. That's some Sonic OC stuff. You also get magical tinkering, letting you put a tiny magical effect into a tiny non-magical item. A little message, a sensory effect. Tchotchkes are more Yondu's thing, but you could get a nice hat. Something to make the other girls jealous, like, ooh, that's pretty. Second level artificers get infusions, special weapons to help you outdo your sister. Maybe. Enhanced weapon adds 1 to the attack and damage rolls of a weapon and makes it magical in terms of overcoming resistances. It also makes up for not being able to get the ability scores I want. Repeating shot lets you use a weapon with the loading property without worrying about the loading property. It has +1 to attack and damage rolls and never runs out of ammo, and it's magical. This is a good infusion. Enhanced defense adds 1 to an armor's AC, so if you're in the really heavy stuff, your base AC is 20. Not even Gamora could get through that. She could actually, she's really good at fighting. Finally, enhanced arcane focus adds 1 to the attack rolls with a spellcasting focus, and you can ignore up to 3/4 cover for a better taser. You can only have 2 up at a time, but can swap them out on long rests, depending on what loadout you think is best for the mission. Third level artificers can choose a specialty. Artillerists get an eldritch cannon, which is a turret that can be small or tiny. Make it tiny so you can hold it in your hand. You can do one of 3 things with it. A force ballista makes a ranged spell attack that deals 2d8 force damage and pushes a target back 5 feet. A flamethrower forces a dexterity saving throw on creatures in a 15-foot cube, dealing 2d8 fire damage to those that fail. Or a protector will give you 1d8 plus your intelligence modifier in temporary HP, just constantly repairing you. I think protector is probably the most in character, though you could just hold 2 guns akimbo with repeating shot infusion. That's rad too. Speaking of rad, you also get some free spells like shields to add 5 to your AC as a reaction. Now that's 25 AC, which Gamora might actually struggle to hit. Sometimes, not a lot. Again, she's very good. 4th level artificers get another ability score improvement. I'm going to keep cycling through strength, dexterity, and intelligence. It's strength's turn, so go for strength. If you want more ability scores though, you need to go back to fighter. I mean, artificer would get ability score improvements later, but not as many as fighter. 9th level fighters just get indomitable though, letting you reroll a failed saving throw once per long rest. With this, I'd feel comfortable just crashing your spaceship into your sister. It'll probably work. 10th level champions get another fighting style, and I'm just putting fighting style on the graphic. You want to shoot guns? Archery gives you +2 to your ranged attacks. You want dual wield sticks? Dual weapon fighting lets you add your ability modifier to your offhand weapon attacks. You want to use one stick? Dueling adds 2 to your damage with a weapon you're holding one-handed. You want to be thicker? Defense adds 1 to your AC while you're wearing armor. I think fusing with armor still lets you do this. Pretty much everything works. You pretty much just got thrown into a pit with your sister and were told to get good. 11th level fighters get another extra attack, letting you make 3 attacks instead of 2, or 6 with an action surge, or 3 attacks and the shocking grasp with your action surge, all with whatever you set your turret to be as a bonus action. You got a lot of options. 12th level fighters get another ability score improvement. Push that dexterity higher. It is dexterity's turn after all. Just because your dad played favorites doesn't mean you have to. 13th level fighters get another use of Indomitable. You could use this on death saving throws, so don't worry, dying won't be in your future. Wait, that means you're a better sister now! For like 5 years before the time heist brought back a different Gamora, at least you're still better than the other Nebula, right? 14th level fighters get another ability score improvement. It's Intelligence's turn now, so let's push that up. Now your strength, dexterity, and intelligence are all +4, and you can get +5 with your infusions. 15th level champions get superior critical to critically hit on an 18, 19, or 20. That's a 15% critical hit chance with your weapons. Between that and your extra attacks, you're pretty good at fighting. I think that means we should focus on skills next level. Also, I hate odd numbers, and 16th level fighters get an ability score improvement or feat. Might as well go skill expert. Round up your strength with your free point, grab sleight of hand for your skill of choice, and get expertise in perception to make up for your low wisdom score, doubling your proficiency bonus to checks with it. That actually makes perception your best skill, which makes sense. I bet your dad put a tracker on you, not to track you and make sure you're safe, to track infinity stones. Now that we've hit level 20, let's figure out how viable this build is. First, you're so consistent, with really high ability scores, 3 attacks per round, and up to 4 with your bonus action turret or a second weapon. You're also hard to hit, with between 19 or 20 base AC, shield to push that higher, and a nice 160 HP to keep you in the fight for the long haul. Finally, all of your attacks get to be magical, thanks to your high tech, so resistances shouldn't be a problem. But making friends might be a problem with your low charisma. Wisdom will also be an issue. Charming, frightening, paralyzation, it would be kind of rough if someone just hit you with hold person, and then modify memory to read your thoughts. Kinda specific. Finally, you're mad, and I don't mean angry. I mean, you are angry, but you're also multi-ability dependent. Focusing on strength would let you use Great Weapon Master. Focusing on dexterity would let you get Sharpshooter. Those are both good, and Gamora has those. But hey, you don't have to be her. Be yourself. Yourself is cool. You got robo parts, you got magical damage, you have a successful YouTube channel. Maybe your dad doesn't get you, but honestly, that's his problem. Why do you care if you don't think he's all that nice or cool of a person anyways? This video wasn't about Nebula. I'm going through some stuff. thanks for watching. If you like the video, subscribe for more. We make 2 videos every week. Join the Patreon for this character sheet and a whole bunch more. And sub to Tulok and Mango for more Tulok fun.